What if I told you, a single item sitting in your home right now could be worth thousands, or even millions? Now I know that sounds crazy, but every single day at the Pawn Star Shop, we see ordinary people walk in with junk and walk out rich. Welcome inside the secret world of the P-Star Shop, where behind every counter, history, mystery and wild surprises are waiting to be uncovered. Today, we're revealing the rarest, craziest, and most valuable finds ever discovered in our shop. This isn't just a shop. It's a treasure-hunting battlefield. Every day, people bring in random items, coins, antiques, collectibles, not knowing their true value. Sometimes it's a dusty box, sometimes an inherited trinket. But, hidden among these everyday objects are life-changing treasures. So buckle up, because by the end of this video, you'll be looking at your own home in a whole new way. Stay till the end, because number one will blow your mind. You never know. The next big find could be sitting in your pocket right now. This is the one you've been waiting for. The story that makes every collector's heart skip a beat. Picture this, a regular guy comes in with a handful of old coins from his late grandfather's collection. Nothing flashy, just a bunch of pocket change from decades ago. We see coins all the time. Thousands of them. But one, it looked totally ordinary at first glance. Now, here's where it gets wild. After a little cleaning and a lot of research, we realized this wasn't your average coin. This was a legendary, ultra-rare minting from the early 1900s, a piece that most collectors only dream of finding. The kind of coin that's written about in history books and auctioned for jaw-dropping prices. We brought in our top expert, someone who's literally seen it all. He took one look and his jaw dropped. "You know what this is, right?" he whispered. The owner shook his head. The expert explained, only a handful of these coins were ever minted, and most had been lost or destroyed. This was one of the few survivors. The suspense in the room was unreal. Could this really be the real deal? We sent it out for authentication and grading. A nail-biting wait. When the results came in, the air was electric. It was confirmed. This coin was one of the rarest ever discovered. Estimated value? Over $1 million. Yes, millions from a single coin. The look on the owner's face. Pure shock, disbelief, and then pure joy. Who knew a simple piece of pocket change could change someone's life forever? Imagine that, a dusty old coin in a family collection, overlooked for years, suddenly revealed as a hidden fortune. It just goes to show, you never really know what treasures are hiding in plain sight. Somewhere out there, someone else is holding a fortune without even realizing it. If you've got an old coin jar at home, maybe it's time to take a closer look. You might just be sitting on $1 million secret. Now, let's talk about art, and how it can surprise you when you least expect it. A customer strolled into the shop with a painting, something he picked up at a garage sale for $500. It looked decent. A landscape with muted colors, a nice frame, but nothing that screamed fortune. The man thought maybe if he was lucky, he could double his money. But here's the thing, art has secrets. It's not always about what you see on the surface. Our expert took the painting into the back, turned it over, examined the brushwork, the signature, even the canvas itself. The tension was thick. Could there be more to this painting than meets the eye? After some serious detective work, our expert found a faint, almost invisible signature. With a magnifying glass and some careful cleaning, the letters became clear. It was linked to a famous artist whose works are known to fetch big bucks at auction. We called in another specialist to confirm. They matched the painting's style, materials, and age to known works by the artist. The customer watched in disbelief as the experts connected the dots. This wasn't just a nice painting, it was a hidden masterpiece. When the final word came in, the value was jaw-dropping, $50,000 and up. That's right, a $500 bargain turned into an absolute windfall. The customer's face went from hopeful to stunned, then over the moon. Art is everywhere. Sometimes it's hanging on your wall, sometimes it's tucked away in a thrift store or attic. Never underestimate art. Hidden masterpieces exist everywhere, waiting for someone to recognize their true worth. That's the magic of the Pawn Star Shop. We dig deeper, look closer, and sometimes uncover treasures that change lives. If you've got old paintings lying around, maybe it's time to give them a second look. You never know what masterpiece you might be holding. Now, this next one is all about risk, luck, and a little bit of wild adventure. One of the craziest stories we've ever seen started with a man who took a gamble on a forgotten storage unit. He wasn't a professional treasure hunter, just a guy with a hunch and a few bucks to spare. He bought the unit sight unseen, hoping to find anything of value. Most of the time, these units are filled with dusty boxes and old furniture. But this time, he hit the jackpot. As he started digging through the mess, he found a collection of rare collectibles, signed sports memorabilia, and vintage toys still in their original packaging. But the real shocker came from a battered old trunk at the back of the unit. Inside were antique coins and rare currency notes, some of which hadn't been seen in decades. Every new find raised the stakes higher and higher. He brought the whole haul into the Pawn Star shop, hoping for a quick sale. But as our experts dug into each item, the total value kept climbing. Some of the coins alone were worth thousands, and the signed memorabilia was a collector's dream. The excitement in the shop was off the charts. Piece by piece, we authenticated each item. Baseball cards, rare stamps, old comic books. By the time we finished, the total payout to the lucky owner was over $100,000. That's right, a small investment in a forgotten storage unit turned into a six-figure payday. It's a reminder that sometimes the biggest jackpots go to the risk takers, those willing to take a chance and dig a little deeper. If you've ever thought about bidding on a storage unit or hitting up an estate sale, remember, you never know what treasures are hiding just out of sight. Sometimes all it takes is a little courage and a lot of luck. Let's shift gears to something a little more personal, a story about family, memories, and hidden value. A woman came into the shop with an old jewelry box she almost threw away during spring cleaning. It had been passed down from her grandmother, filled with dusty trinkets and tangled necklaces. She figured it was all costume jewelry, nothing special, maybe worth a few bucks at best. But out of curiosity, she decided to have it looked at before tossing it. Smart move. Our jewelry expert opened the box and instantly noticed something unusual about one of the necklaces. It was heavier than it looked, with a clasp that seemed far more intricate than anything you'd find in ordinary jewelry. Upon closer inspection, we saw a tiny designer hallmark, a symbol from a high-end jeweler that specialized in vintage pieces from the 1920s and 1930s. We brought out the magnifying glass and started researching the hallmark. The story just got better from there. Not only was it an authentic piece, but it was also an extremely rare design, sought after by collectors around the world. When we told the woman the news, you could see her eyes well up. What she thought was a forgotten trinket was actually a vintage designer necklace worth over $25,000. A family heirloom turned out to be a hidden gold mine. Moments like this are why we love what we do. Sometimes, old stuff isn't junk. It's a treasure waiting to be rediscovered. So before you toss out Grandma's jewelry box, take a closer look. There might be a fortune hiding inside those tangled chains. Let's wrap up with a story that proves even the smallest things can pack a big punch. A man walked into the shop with what looked like a dirty old coin. He found it in a box of random change, convinced it was worthless. But he figured, why not? Let's see if it's worth anything. Our coin expert took one look and noticed something odd, a subtle design flaw that set this coin apart from the rest. Mint-era coins are rare, and collectors go wild for them. The expert cleaned the coin carefully and examined it under high magnification. It turned out, this wasn't just any coin. It was a rare mint error from a limited production run, with a double die and misaligned strike. These tiny mistakes are what make coins like this so valuable, because they're so hard to find. We double-checked the details, compared it to auction records, and the verdict was in this simple coin was worth over $10,000. The owner's jaw hit the floor. A single coin, almost thrown away, was now a life-changing discovery. The lesson? Always check your coins closely. Tiny mistakes can mean big money. Hidden gems can be disguised as the most ordinary objects. You never know what you're holding until you look a little closer. So next time you find an odd-looking coin in your pocket or piggy bank, don't ignore it. Bring it to an expert, do a little research, and who knows, you might be the next person to walk out of the Pawn Star shop with a small fortune. Here's the truth. Treasure isn't just in museums or high-security vaults, it's right in your pockets, your drawers, your storage boxes. Every day, people walk into the Pawn Star Shop thinking they have junk and walk out with life-changing money. Before you throw anything away, before you ignore that old coin or dusty painting, take a closer look. You never know what priceless artifacts, rare collectibles, or forgotten masterpieces are hiding right under your nose, because you might be sitting on a hidden fortune right now. That's the magic of discovery, and it can happen to anyone, anywhere, at any time. Don't let your treasures slip through your fingers. If you enjoyed this wild ride through the world of rare finds and insane payouts, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more insane discoveries. The next big story